Hello people, in this video I will be explaining why the Cuphead tutorial sucks complete and utter ass and why it doesn't explain anything at all. You see, that's a tutorial. Good job. So for this I hired a special guest, games journalist, Dave Johnson. And I got him to play the game because I told him, hey, look, I need you to play through this tutorial. So what you're seeing here is that he doesn't know what button to press because it doesn't tell him what he has to press. It just tells him to hold down to crouch, but he doesn't know what he's supposed to hold down. So what he tries to do is he looks at his controller and he sees that there is a button on the D-pad that's pointing down. But that button is actually the up button. So he tries pressing that, but it doesn't work. It doesn't let him crouch. And he's just so confused by this. So, given that this part wasn't necessary, he just moved on and had to figure out how to jump. He got very upset by this. Dave Johnson. Yeah. Now, here's the thing with Dave. Dave never was taught what shapes look like and what they're supposed to look like. So, he's looking all over the controller, and he doesn't see anything. And that all could have been fixed if they just made that button blue. So that way, Dave, if he was confused, could look at his controller and see that he needed to press that blue button to be able to jump. This got a little annoying, because I had to try so hard to tell Dave that I had to try so hard to hold back my anger. So at this point, I just told him, Dave, just press that blue button, so that way he can move on to the hardest part, and that way we could get over with that. Good job, Dave. So here, this seems like an easy part, but you see, Dave Johnson, he's a games journalist. He doesn't know how to play games. He was just hired because he just took the job because it could pay him. It could pay him a lot of money, and he could play some really cool things. So here, what Dave tries to do is that he tries to jump. He thinks that he can ledge grab because that's like the logical thing to do. If you're that close to the edge, then like reach your hand out. But what he doesn't know is that games have rules, and he wants to break those rules. So what you see him trying to do, why is he walking into that wall like an idiot? He thinks that Cuphead, his character, can just like walk past the thing. Why try to hop onto it when you can just like walk around it? But you see, that's not how this game works. And Dave doesn't understand that, since his brain is too, how do we put it? He uses logic too much. He doesn't use game logic, he uses real life logic. And he gets very frustrated by this. He gets very frustrated by how his idea does not work at all. Because that's just not the kind of game that Cuphead is. So I told him, Dave, jump, and then press that green button. Just press that green button. But here's the thing. Dave even struggles with the simple task of doing that. He treats it like it's the most complicated task that he has to do. He eventually gets it, though. Dave, stop. It's not that hard. The timing isn't that precise. There you go. Good job, Dave. He's cheering. So this might be a little bit harder for Dave Johnson here to understand. He has to jump through the platform. But here's the thing. Button! Where's the down arrow? On the PS4 controller. It doesn't exist. So he tries to press up again to see what that does. And then he tries to walk into the wall to see if he can just like make Cuphead just like move past the thing. And then he gives up on that idea, so he tries to jump up and see if he can hop over it. And clearly it looks like he can, but the game won't allow that because there's like some invisible force blocking him. So he tries walking into the wall again, but that doesn't work. He gets very frustrated by this and tries the same tactic again, where he like tries to walk around that pillar, but it doesn't work. You see here, so he gets very upset by this and just starts losing his crap, and he accidentally does it. So Dave, wanting to know how to do it, he tries to get back up there again to try to learn what he was supposed to do, because clearly he did the right thing. He knew what to do. So he tries to get back up there, but the game's like, no, You made it. You completed that task. Move on. But Dave, persistent. I literally had to yell at him. Stop going through the objects. It's not gonna work. Just move on. So he moved on. He couldn't quite figure out what shoot meant. So he tried pulling the trigger, but he wasn't sure about that because it doesn't show a trigger on there. He looked at the controller and saw that R2 was on there, but he wasn't sure. So I just told him. So he just moved on. So the reason why there's a pause here is because Dave is trying to slam the L2 button because that's usually how you aim in games. The only reason you aim with R1 is if you're a casual playing Devil May Cry, playing any Devil May Cry game. That's the only reason you do that. So Dave very upset by this. He just throws a little fit, throws a little hissy fit. I tried so hard to resist calling him any names during this part of the game. It's not that hard, Dave. You literally just... What can I say? Dave is a game journalist, and he doesn't understand this. So this part, Perry, this somehow, out of all the things that he struggled with, this was the part that he figured out how to do. Because here's the thing, there was color, and he figured out that jump. He figured out that X button meant the blue button, so he just tapped that again. For some reason he tried to do the thing, and I just had to sit back and just like let him do it. But Dave was like, but then he read the thing. He was like, oh wait, that's a pink object. Oh, I have to do that. Then he bragged that he could do it, and dang, and he showed off. That was the one thing he didn't struggle with, and just Dave's very happy about this. I even gave him a pat on the back. All right, so this part he just didn't figure out how to do it because there's no color. There's nothing to tell him that button is the right button on the PlayStation controller. They just need to add color. Oh, and then Dave was expecting a coin at the end, but I've already played through this, and I refused to let him make another save so that way he could mess up. I don't want his tainted skills on my PlayStation, so he just got really upset and just threw a hissy fit because he didn't get that coin. I told him, dude, you're not gonna. I had to tell him, dude, you're not gonna get the coin. Stop worrying about the coin and just go through the exit door. Which he figured out. Just press X. Dave, filled up with so much anger after that annoying tutorial, wanted to shoot the guy that put him through it. That teapot guy. But he learned that he couldn't do it. He couldn't shoot the guy. So he got very upset by that, and it made him very furious. And yeah. Well, while Dave has this tantrum, I hope you guys have a great day, and hope you hated this video. Please leave a like or dislike, and let me know what you thought down in the comments. Thank you.